Hello there, what do you think of this awesome relief sculpture beside me? Everyone here at Mont doesn't know what to make of it, but I think it's pretty cool. So today I'm going to show you the steps I took to create it. But before I do, if you want to experiment with plaster, then make sure that you check out our plaster safety video. And you can find that at our webpage at www.montmart.net. We also have lots more art lessons there, as well as our Facebook page and our Creative Connection. And if you subscribe to our Creative Connection, then you get lots of hints, tips, and other goodies. So let's get into it. So the first step is to create a bed of clay inside the frame for which to make our impressions into. Now I'm using some Mont modelling clay, basically because they're just the right height to occupy the frame, leaving the right amount of space for the plaster. Modelling clay also contains a little bit of oil, which will make it easier to separate the two when we come to that step. But you could, if you wanted to, use Mont air hardening modelling clay with no problems. So let's get this clay bed in. Once the clay bed has been laid in, we need to fill any gaps and holes with that leftover clay. You might like to use a timber modelling tool to help with this task, so let's do this. Once we are happy with how smooth the clay bed is, we can create our impressions. Now I'm using an old timber doorstop, but you might like to use a children's wooden building block, or you might like to use a domed lid of a pen. You can use anything really. So let's create our impressions. Now, prior to pouring our plaster, we need to apply a mould release agent around the timber to stop the plaster adhering to it. And this mould release agent is just hand soap applied with an old brush. We can now mix up our plaster. To mix plaster takes roughly the ratio of 2 parts plaster to 1 part water, and always mix the plaster into the water. I'm using an old plastic bucket for this, and I'm using hand protection. So let's get this plaster made. Once you've poured it in, you can then smooth it out with a palette knife. We then let this dry overnight, so I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Well, let's see how our cast has worked out. The first step is to remove this canvas. I'm using a staple remover but you could quite as easily use a flathead screwdriver. Well, that looks really great, and I kind of wish that I'd laid in more information. But let's move on, and the next stage is to embellish our sculpture. And for that, we're going to use some Payne's Grey Silver Series and some metallic purple and blue. So let's lay the Payne's Grey on first. Just use that nice big soft Taklon brush again. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. And even if you aren't really fussed on this, think about the possibilities of relief sculpture. If this was bigger, it would be a great postmodern interior design wall hanging. Or laying flat, it could be a great cosmic landscape for an alien diorama. Although the possibilities of using this technique are endless. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep on creating.